Hello, everybody. It's Friday, which means it's time for the Friday 15. Hi, my name is Mary Abijay, and this is the Friday 15, our weekly live broadcast where we go, live on LinkedIn for 15 fast, furious, hopefully fruitful minutes in order to talk about career and workplace success. Today's topic, which I'm excited about, and I always excited about my topics, is shameless self-promotion. You heard me. How to toot your own horn without feeling ashamed, embarrassed, or just plain icky. So we're entering the shame-free zone here, people. Now, I know that many of you, in fact, I used to think this way, that you think if I just work hard enough, if I just do my job, if I just keep my head down and I play by the rules, then for goodness sakes, my work will speak for itself and someone will notice me. Well, sadly, in the real life, in the real world, that's not always the case. In order to get noticed, in order to get rewarded, in order to get promoted, people need to know about you. They need to know about your talents, your strengths, your successes, your accomplishments. And if you're not prepared to tell them, well, goodness sake, who is going to do that for you? So today's topic, we're going to talk about I brought with me 10 tips today that I'm going to give you that will help you get yourself into the shame-free zone of self-promoting. 10 ways that you can promote yourself with a little class, a little dignity, and a little bit of humility. So in the comment box, please say hello and join me. Let me get my comments up here. And please know, I want to hear your tips. I also want to hear about your reluctance to self-promote yourself, because this is a very common problem in the workplace. And some of it's because people don't know how to do it well. So hopefully after today, you'll have some ideas of what you can do to get your name out there in front of people so that the things that you deserve, the rewards for your accomplishments and your successes will come your way. All right, so I'm actually going to share my tips with you on the screen. So give me a moment to share. I'm a little slow on this one. I'm going to share my screen. Got some tips for you, and you're going to love them. I hope you're going to love them. All right, so the first thing we need to do, hey, Kristen, hey, Taz, girl, it's been so long. All right, so first of all, you have to reframe your thinking. Reframe the shame, if you will. We have to reframe how you think about self-promotion. Remember, self-promotion is a career accelerator, but you have to know how to do it well. If you're not going to talk about your accomplishments, your successes, your strengths, how is anyone going to know about them? So you have to be prepared to talk about them. And don't confuse talking about them with bragging. It's not about bragging. It's about letting people know the impact of your good work. Think of yourself as a product. If nobody knows about you, nobody can buy you. So you want to make sure that people know about the product that is you. Number two, in order to share your successes, in order to talk about yourself, you need to know what you're talking about. So take some time to really reflect on your strengths, on your accomplishments, on your results. I know this may seem kind of obvious, but if I asked you, what are the top 3 things you want to be known for? How many of you could actually answer them? And then how many of you could actually give me a story or an example of that? So we've got to kind of take stock about who we want to be, or what we want to be known for in order to talk about our successes. So take the shame out, know what you want to talk about, know yourself, know your strengths. Number 3, your first step into self-promotion is keeping your boss in the loop. Now, many of you think that, well, why do I need to tell my boss that what I'm doing? My boss should know. Yeah, in a perfect world, your boss should know everything. But guess what? Your boss is only one person who probably has a whole lot of stuff on their plate. So take the time to keep them informed. Meet with them regularly. Let them know about your accomplishments. Let them know about those projects that exceeded expectations. If your clients give you a compliment, pass that on to your boss. Keep them in the loop. Listen, your boss wants to know about your successes because your successes are their successes. Now, hopefully, your boss isn't going to take credit for your successes, but they won't even be able to compliment you if they don't know they are. I love, love, love it when my team, and they're on this LinkedIn, so hopefully they're hearing this. I love it when they send me a note about what a client said to them or a compliment they got, or when they delivered a project that exceeded expectations on the client. I love that. So keep your boss informed. Now, number four is you've also got to learn how to share your successes with other people in your organization. Learn to tell stories about what you did. Stories have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. And when you tell this story, you're really going to focus on the projects, the results, the successes. It's not necessarily what you did, it's what you and the team did. We have to get comfortable with talking about what we do. So, for example, let's say you're at the water cooler, or even in the virtual water cooler, or you're at an event and someone says, "Hey, what's new?" Instead of saying, "Oh, not much," tell them something that you've just accomplished. Tell them with a little bit of energy. Say, "You know what? Just finished working on this great project with my team. It was really exciting. We did XYZ for ABC. We were able to come in under budget, exceeding expectations. And I think the clients are already going to purchase more services from us." Bam, you told a story. So get comfortable telling other people about your successes. If your company has a newsletter, submit some article ideas. You might want to check with your boss and say, "Hey, we just finished this project. Do you think that would be good for the company newsletter?" Like, really get out there and share the results, the facts of your successes, not your opinion or your braggart, but what you actually did. Now, part of telling the story is that you learn how to balance I versus we. And this is tip number 5. When we just say, like, "I did this and I did that and I did this," you're going to like tune people out. That's when you come across as a braggart, right? But when you can balance the I versus the we, I'm so excited that I got to work on this team with this. I got to work on a team with this great project where we were able to do XYZ and we accomplished this. Then you're balancing it. You're showing that you were involved in a group project that was successful. So therefore, you are going to look successful as well. You never want to inflate yourself at the expense of deflating others. So that's the big key here. But you don't want to be all we. You got to throw in an I here and there. And here's where you can really break down the difference between arrogance and confidence. Arrogance says, "I'm better than you. I know everything that you don't know. I can do this better than anybody." That's arrogance. That's unattractive. Confidence says, "You can trust me. I'm a competent person. I can help you. I can work with you." So really balance the I and the we, and this will help you reduce the arrogance and pump up the confidence. Number 6, mentor and coach everybody that you can. So mentoring and coaching is a way that you can share your expertise, your knowledge, your experience, and your strengths with others. And it's doing so in a way that's going to help them see you as a go-to person. So be the kind of person that's helping to mentor people, that's coaching others, that's sharing their expertise. Not only does this promote your brand, but it also helps other people succeed. And when we help other people succeed, our brand goes up, our stock value goes up. People start to see us as a really good colleague, people they admire, people they respect, people they trust. Hi, Thelly. Great content. Thanks, Mary. It's important to develop storytelling. Who's the hero of the story? You've got to keep that in mind. I love that, Thelly. And a good story always has a little bit of conflict. And by conflict, I don't mean like a fight. I mean a challenge to overcome. Like, man goes to a tree, man gets up a tree, man gets down a tree. So you want to think about what's like the challenge or the hurdle that you overcame. And you should make yourself at least a co-hero in your story to make it good. Thank you so much, Sally. Would love to have any other ideas you have about telling a good story. All right, so you're going to mentor and coach others. This is going to help you promote your brand. It's going to help you get your name out there. It's going to help other people see you as a go-to resource. Number 7, this is stepping into the spotlight. And what I mean by this is don't shy away from high visibility opportunities. This also might mean taking on those challenging projects or taking on those projects that nobody else wants to do. This is a great way to actually showcase your talents and to showcase your strengths. It's a great way to become visible. So look for high visibility opportunities, look for high visibility projects, look for those challenges, and look for those projects that nobody else wants to take on, because those are the ones that people are going to notice. It really shows you off as someone who is a can-do person and somebody who's really willing to take on challenges. So step into the spotlight. Don't be afraid of that spotlight. It's not too harsh. Number 8, power up your social media. This is a great way to showcase your industry expertise. Pick a platform, and I'm going to suggest LinkedIn because it's a great platform, and really engage on it. There's so many ways that you can showcase your expertise in both your industry, your organization, and your profession on LinkedIn or other social medias, but I love LinkedIn, especially for career advancement. And, even if you're not the person that's going to write articles, although writing articles is a great way to do it, or maybe you don't have the time to do a LinkedIn Live, there are so many other things you can do. You can share content. You can look for other articles that other people post anywhere and share them on your LinkedIn page. You can comment and engage in conversation. Whatever you do, engage in a smart way that's really in alignment with, as we talked about in the very beginning, what are the things that you want to be known for? What's your brand going to be? So really engage in social media in your industry and in your profession to showcase your talents. Number 9, build relationships across departments. Now, I know I've already talked about sharing your stories with others, but I really want you in your organization to make sure that you are connecting with people outside of your organization, outside of your department. Like if you're in the accounting department, you should really get to know other people. Find out what they do. Share what you do. Share your stories. Listen to their stories as well. The more people that know you, that know your great work, the more chance you have of opportunity coming your way. If people don't know you, they can't do things for you. You know the old networking thing that we talked about last week? It's not what you know, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. Well, this is a great opportunity to really get to be known by other people. And don't just say, "Oh, I'm Mary. I just work in the finance department." Hey, my name's Mary. I work on overdue invoices. I'm the person that's going to call up the customers that don't pay, and by hook, by crook, by coaxing, by whatever, I manage to keep bringing money into the organization so that we can be financially viable, right? So you want to always be talking about what you do and what the value is to the organization, your profession. Get to know people, build your network across departments. And my last tip for shame-free self-promotion is to be generous with others. And I mean this in several ways. One, always be on the lookout to help other people, to lend a helping hand, to help out on projects, to offer your expertise, your knowledge, your wisdom to others without any expectation of anything in return. This is a great way to do a little shame-free self-promotion. And I also mean this in a way, and be generous about self-promoting other people. I guess it wouldn't be self-promoting other people. It would be promoting other people. Share other people's successes. Be the kind of person that toots other people's horns as much as your horn, if not more than your horn. When you are really generous with your compliments, you're generous with your promotion of others, people will remember that, and it will shed really positive light on you. So these are my top 10 tips for self-promotion without feeling ashamed, without feeling icky, and doing with class and grace and a little dignity. Reframe your thinking about it. Self-promotion is something we all have to do. Knowing your strengths, knowing your accomplishments, knowing what you want to tell people is critical. Keep your boss in the loop. If your boss is the first person that needs to know about your accomplishments, don't assume they know. Remind them. Then share your success stories with others. Let other people know about your good work. Always balance the I versus the we. Do what you can to mentor and coach other people. Step into the spotlight. Don't be afraid of those challenging assignments. Power up your social media, which I'm thinking you're all doing anyway because you're here on LinkedIn. Build your internal network. be generous, look for ways to help other people. Those are my top 10. And I love this is from Shannon. She says another tip is to be authentic. Shannon, you are so right. That is such an important tip, because if you when you're authentic and a little bit vulnerable, and you can even be like a little like, it's kind of hard for me to talk about this, but like being authentic, being a person that other people want to be around is a great way to self-promote. So now for those of you, remember, self-promotion might be uncomfortable at first, so you can take some baby steps, but please know, people want to know about your successes. You are not just sharing your braggy ideas. You are sharing facts about who you are. If we're too reluctant or we're too humble, that's not going to help you or the organization. So go forward, self-promote yourself, be gracious about it, include others, be authentic, and for goodness sake, don't be afraid to state the facts about what you've done. Well, it is 12:15. That is all the time we have today. Please, by the way, a couple things before I close up. We're doing an episode on this for Cubicle Confidential, which will be released next week with lots more tips. CubicleConfidential.com, scrolling along the bottom. Next week, the Friday 15 is going to be all about toxic bosses. That's right. We're finally going to dig into the truly terrible toxic bosses, what you can do to survive it and what you can do to get yourself out of it. So without further ado, that's all for today. Have a great weekend. Until I see you next week, work hard, be kind, and don't forget to self-promote.